A team made for playoff hockey, tough and talented, and looking to make it 4 wins in a row when Claudio Scremin gave them a first period lead at Newcastle. With shots on goal at a minimum, chances had to be manufactured. Hilton Ruggles' hustle on Tom Ash, it sets up Glenn Mulvenna, and that's one apiece. Into overtime, and there's a rare Newcastle gamble. It backfires. They put on the extra skater, but concede an empty netter to Andy Bizot 3 seconds from the end. 8 points out of 8 for the Knights. For a long time, the Panthers-Bees clash at the Ice Stadium was equally close. Greg Hadden gave Nottingham an early lead, and with Bracknell short of personnel, the expectation was that despite the Bees taking a 2-1 lead, thanks to goals from Adam Smith and Chris Baxter, Nottingham could take advantage. But the Bees had to dig deep to win the league, and they dug deep here. PC Drain's great stick work, the first of 4 late goals. A 6-1 road win, a terrific response to their big loss on home ice to London during the week. But the tiredness seemed to catch up with Bracknell the following night as they were well beaten by Newcastle. Eero Jarvi's shot established the first period platform for the River Kings. Then persistence by Hilton Ruggles, plus determination to be first to the puck by Joel Poirier, re-established River Kings' lead. But remember, this is first v 8, the home banker. A normal service seemed to have been resumed when Paxton Schulte equalised for a second time. But that record without Glenn Mulvenna. His blue line blast gave Newcastle a 4-2 lead. River Kings remain unbeaten in regulation and have a real shot at making the final 4. Super confident London knew they could book their hotels up north if they beat Nottingham. How about this for showboating? Todd Wetzel waltzes in to make it 2-0. The only blip to a brilliant night's performance came when man of the match Trevor Robbins couldn't control the puck. Brent Bobick couldn't miss. But after that, it was London all the way. Wetzel had already scored short-handed before Claudio Scremin's third goal of the playoffs made it 4-1. That was one of 3 power play goals for London. Neil Martin with the water bottle basher. It looked great, so did London. And the Knights are the first team to qualify for the finals. They'll finish top of Group A, which means they play in the first semi-final against the runner-up in Group B. Super League champions Bracknell must win their final game and hope Newcastle drop at least 2 points. Otherwise, they're out. The River Kings haven't lost a game in their campaign so far. 1 win, 2 overtime losses and 1 draw. But the Nottingham Panthers are out of it. They play Newcastle on Wednesday. It's a must. Last road win came back on January the 15th at Ayr. Since then, they've lost 7 on their travels. Make that 8. Rob Tremblay broke Derek Kolofsky's resistance early in the second period. And 56 seconds later, Scott Young blasted home the Eagles' second goal. And with the Devils' road record, that was that. Jeff Sargent had a 34-shot shutout, aided by the pipework, it must be admitted. And Ayr finished Cardiff off late on. Eric Morano with the turnover, and the skip, and the goal that ended a 4-game losing run on their home ice. Group B was always going to be close. To succeed, a team needs a little bit of magic, as provided here by Eagles' Jim Matheson. You also need some luck. Shane Stevenson's shot finds a way past Manchester's Mark Bernard. It's one Ayr a valuable road point. Super assist for Rob Robinson set up Kelly Askew for a late equaliser, but the Eagles more than happy with their night's work. So that's how close it is in Group B. Sheffield have the 2-point lead, but they played 1 more game than Ayr and Cardiff, and by no means right off the Manchester Storm. As expected, Group B is going to go right down to the
only goalie on the ice. 1 minute, 1 second to go. Newcastle lead the Sheffield Steelers 1-0 in an unbelievable story for Newcastle. Let's see what the Steelers can throw at him here. Kip Noble. Down low to Craigwell. Craigwell can't get a hold of it. Chips it out front. Chuck into Craigwell. He just sends it wide.
Wow.
Bounce off the boards, and that clears it. And it's in the net. And the Newcastle River Kings, barring an absolute miracle, have just written a passport to the final. Holy mackerel.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, you talk about a storybook ending here. I mean, a team that finished last place in the league And all of a sudden, was it Joel Poirier just throwing down, putting the final nail in the coffin here. Number 32, but I mean, what a performance by Newcastle, just to hold on. You know, as I said, I thought, you know, as this game went on, it was going to be in favor of Newcastle, and it has done.
Well, what a absolute fitting ending as well for the River Kings. Joel Poirier getting the second goal. Could be the safety margin goal. And he's played an absolute outstanding game. We talked about Poirier, Ruggles, Hibbert as all being contenders for man of the match, but really you just got to say an unbelievable team performance. Unbelievable.
Great, well-deserved, you know, there's no doubt about it. I mean, God, who's to say they shouldn't belong in the final? They played an exceptional game of hockey.
And now there's 20 seconds to go. Courtney scores! And Courtney stuffs it in underneath Jimmy Hibbert. And that goal from Joel Poirier, how important is that?
Oh, that was a huge goal, but hey, 18 seconds left. I've seen him go in less than that.
There was only 40 seconds on the clock there. It's taken him 22 seconds to score that one. They can do it in 18.
Well, you look at here, I mean, again, number 27, Ed Courtney just coming out. Hibbert looking the wrong way with it as the puck came out to Courtney, who just finds it in and slips it underneath Hibbert. Wow.
Do not count this game over, folks.
Do not go anywhere, folks.
Because there is one team capable of scoring in 18 seconds since the Sheffield Steelers, and they got 18.1 to do it. Empty net, 6 skaters. The Steelers have out there. They're going to be throwing everything at Jimmy Hibbert. Oh, and Glenn Malvino has cleared it to Walker. Walker, he scores! The Newcastle River Kings make it 3-1.
I think that's now got to be it with only 4 seconds left. And Malvina out there doing a great job getting the puck up. And all of a sudden, look at here, you'll see them working. They get it out, they try to flick up. And it's Darby Walker skating in on the probably easiest goal of his life. And one of the biggest goals of his life.
And you got to say, Glenn Malvina, who also has announced his retirement from playing anyway, has just put together the captain performance. There you go, folks. That's it. The Newcastle River Kings booked their spot in the 1999-2000 hockey season playoff finals here in Manchester. The London Knights have gone through. Pass goes up the middle. Have a icing call. And here, look at the near bench. Look at the air sky. See the bench. Bizzo, he's calling on the bench. He's calling on Trombley from the bench. Here we go. From the bench. Bizzo taking on the Air Scottish Eagles. Whole bench. Unbelievable.
London's going to have to go. The other players weren't watching. They didn't realize what was going on.
Folks, do not leave your seat. Because if you go in to the kitchen for a cup of tea, you're going to miss something. Because Bizzo and Trombley or Stevenson are going to go. Bizzo stood in front of the whole Air Scottish Eagles bench and took them on. And the Air Scottish Eagles, obviously a team with a ton of pride, said no way, and they would have actually dragged him in there and took him to the car park.
Well, you've got to have something there, intestinal fortitude, something. I mean, basically going on there, he's called the whole bench on himself, and you'll see him right there. Trombley looking to get in there. He thinks, you know, hey, he throws it, Bizzo comes back. And then he's going down the line.
Look at Stevenson come in, throw the punch in. So he's getting nailed there by Stevenson.
Double teaming right in there.
And then Trombley over the top. This is playoff hockey.
Well, I'll tell you what, that won't be the last time you see that go on tonight.
These guys are just going to fight, claw for everything. Place in the final at stake. Chris McSorley obviously upset at the fact that, well, Bizzo got triple teamed.
I think Bizzo could be getting a 5 in the game. And I think he could be going. And I think he is going.
Really? Okay.
I'm not sure what the Air Scottish Eagles have got at the moment, but I think Bezo's going to be having an early shower.
And I think Stevenson's going to get KO'd as well for those 3 punches you saw him land on Bezo. And Bezo's calling the whole bench on, but there you can see she said he's been ejected, so's Bezo. They're going to be going to the changing rooms, but sure it's not going to be the end of this.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know. I think the trade-off could have been good. I mean, Stevenson's out there. He's a pretty talented hockey player. And, I mean, Bezo, as much as obviously he can go out there and turn a game around with his physical presence, I mean, I think generally, you know, the trade-off's been quite good in London's favor.
So just over 5 minutes gone. Stevenson obviously very, well, he doesn't want to leave. But he's been ejected. You let certain things go in overtime.
Well, I mean, it's all to play for now, and it's just one shot, one goal, and it's all over. But, you know, so you try not to be the deciding factor in a game. That's why you put the whistle in the back pocket the best you can.
Right in front, the slot. Sargent scores! Oh, my God! Can you believe it? That is Jeff Hode! That is Jeff Hode!
Wow!
What did Jeff Hode? I didn't even see if it was Jeff Hode or not.
I think it was Bolte. I couldn't see it as well. I think they were both in there.
The London Knights have just... It was Bolte.
It was Bolte.
Who had 7 stitches applied to his nose and forehead earlier on. And he has given the London Knights passage to the final against the Newcastle River Kings.
Look at that. I mean, again, it's Hussey on the end of this one. And Bolte just sliding between Sargent's leg, got on Mark right out in front. And Bolte again. Wow. There you go. 7 stitches. That means nothing anymore.
Bolte handcuffing Sargent. A weak shot.
It just dribbles in.
It wouldn't have knocked over a bucket of Haagen-Dazs ice cream.
But again,
that's how weak it was.
Hussey and Bolte combination again. That's giving London the win and definitely putting them in.
Nightcar had a great opportunity to win the game the other day. Sargent robbing him. Jeff Sargent playing an outstanding game for Air. Walker, who had a empty net goal. Oh, he deflects and he shoots, he scores! Darby Walker with a deflection. Unbelievable start for the RP. And pick my teeth with a jackhammer.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the start that the River Kings were looking for. And it's Darby Walker who's got on them on the score sheet right here. Great pressure by the River Kings. Again, Sean Johnson keeping the play in. And look at Walker getting right in front of Robbins. Just a little tip. It's over the shoulder of Robbins. And they've got a 1-goal lead.
Gary, we said that if London came out with a quick goal, that could deflate the Newcastle River Kings. But it's come out the other way.
Well, I'll tell you what, now London, you got to see, they're going to have to open up a little
on the play. I think it's going to be coming up against Paul Rushforth of the London Knights. Unless Darby Walker scores, he does! Unbelievable! Oh my God! Darby Walker has given the Newcastle River Kings a 2-1 lead just halfway gone in the first period. That'll mollify the call that was being called.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a delayed penalty on the call here, and they get the extra attacker out there, and they make the patch, they stretch it up, and again, look at that, Walker just flips one right through the London defense, goes to his backhand, fools and handcuffs Robbins, and it's in again, and that's Walker's second of the evening. What a great goal on the power play.
What a playoff weekend for that fella there. We're only 10 and a half minutes gone in the first period. 4 power play goals in 1 game is a record in the playoffs. So as you said, Gary, you can't keep giving these guys a chance. And here comes Bice across. Great goal! Wow. Oh my God! Put that one on the high reel, folks. Rick Rabat notched it at 2 with 4:05 to go.
Pretty to watch. The build-out coming from the London zone. Look at that, the three of them coming in. All of a sudden, you see Brabant coming open there. Hibbert playing, waiting for the shot, but not to come. But Ben Bice over to Rushforth, straight over to Brand, who's got an open nice and says, thanks very much. You'll see him there. Hibbert just getting caught out of position, just couldn't get over to the pass. But great play, great three-way play there by Rushforth's Blythe and Brabant.
Playoff weekend. Gets it off the board. Rushforth sandwiches it out of the zone. Bice steps in on Yarby. Shot comes in from Rushforth. He shoots. He scores. Oh my hair with a garden rake. Unbelievable.
Paul Rushforth getting off a rocket of a shot from a John Bice. And I mean, at the end of the day, it was great work there too. And you see here, they break out. All of a sudden, Bice going for the puck with Allroos himself coming in, trying to lay the hit, just sidesteps him and catches Rushforth coming into the right-hand side, just leashes one go and just beats Hibbert. Wow, what a rocket.
Well, we've heard the Guns of Navarone rip this season, but that one there was the howitzer to end all howitzers. Go, Rick, go. It's got to slide all the way down and out. And it's getting stuck about midway through. So it's a legal stick. It's an illegal stick. That means there's going to be another penalty call coming up against Clayton Norris for an illegal equipment call. Now, we've seen this work before. Chris McSorley, we know he's a shrewd guy with this. He'll look for the right opportunity, the right time to do it. And Dave Whistle was actually on the receiving end of that. We can head across to him now. Dave, what do you think of this?
Well, I mean, if he wants to call it, it gets his privilege to call. I think it's a very cheap call at this stage of the game, but if you want to win and that's the way you got to win, I guess that's what's going to happen.
A lot of coaches live or die by this. You're obviously a coach. I mean, how often have you ever called for an illegal stick measurement?
Oh, I've called an illegal stick measurement, sure. You know, when it comes right down to the wire, that's up to him, I guess, if he wants to call it. Like I said, I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't call it, so that's all I say.
And we also have to look at the fact, Dave, that, I mean, if you were to be honest and go down the line with that measurement stick, how many guys do you think would have an illegal stick?
I wouldn't have thought overly a lot on that team. I know on our team, we got caught on it against London, and we implemented a fine system on our team if we got caught with an illegal stick. So, you know, I thought he was an illegal stick, and I guess London called it right this time.
Takes it off the blocker. Newcastle stretched here. Right into the middle, the shot comes in, he shoots! He scores! Paul Rushforth with the deuce. Gives the London Knights a 2-goal cushion with a 5-on-3 power play, but they're still going to have the power play as only one guy's going to come out of the box here.
Well, I'll tell you what, obviously that call that McSorley made on the illegal stick is not a popular one here, but it's paid off for him. And you'll see Rushforth right in the slot, nobody around him whatsoever. The pass comes straight across from Scremin to Rushforth, and Rushforth just makes no mistake and goes top blocker right in the corner.
Holy mustard jar. That got knocked off the top shelf. Chris McSorley lives in Vegas, obviously has a gambling instinct in him. He gambled there, and it's paying off.
Clayton Norris will now come out of the box, but the River Kings will still be a man short for 56 seconds left. But I'll tell you what, they've now got a 2-goal cushion. And it's going to mean something big now for the River Kings to pull that back.
We're into the final 10 seconds. 8. We're counting down. Trevor Robbins plays it. Oh, unbelievable scenes here. Everyone's on their feet. The fireworks are going. The ticker tape is falling. The capital city of England has just grabbed its first major trophy in the Ice Hockey Super League. And the fireworks are going. They're hugging each other, Gary. Really, these moments come around once in a lifetime for a lot of players. What does it feel like?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's no feeling like it in the world. I mean, to be able to sit there and to fight through a season and to finish off a season on a high as London has now and getting their first major trophy. I mean, these guys, you know, if some of them retire, I mean, it's going to be the memory that they'll take to the graves with them. And I mean, it's just, you know, it's an unbelievable feeling. And, you know, for some things, it's hard to just sort of take in. But, you know, this man here, Chris McSorley, the work that he's done with this new club, you know, Scott Rex, right down to the equipment managers, Brian Joe Cad, the general manager, right up to Chris Hunt. I mean, those people have just done an excellent job to turn around the sport in the capital.
And of course, London having their second season. Their first season was last year. They finished bottom of the Super League. They got eliminated right away in the playoffs. And then they appointed this man, Chris McSorley, to come in and take charge of this organization with a goal of finishing at least 4th in the league and challenging for other honors. Who would have thought that for most of the season they would have challenged for top spot, being in the top 3 for most of the season, eventually finishing 4th because of a bad slide, but losing on penalty shots in the Benson Hedges Cup, making it to the semifinal of the Challenge Cup. It's been absolutely unbelievable. The scenes here are absolutely unbelievable, folks. There'll be the presentation of the medals to the players and also the lift of the cup. It's all coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere.
At the end of the final game of the season, the Newcastle River Kings losing out to the London Knights by 7 goals to 3, and the London Knights are the playoff champions of the new millennium. Let's hear from their coach and their assistant coach, Scott Rex and Chris McSorley, are with Kevin.
Chris, a successful end to a very hard season. This must justify the hard work. Well, not only was it a long season with all the injuries, but, you know, this is kind of a personal triumph, and, you know, on a personal note, this is very rewarding. I lost my father this year, and this has been a lot of personal tragedy, so I just want to say, in an inner sense, this game was dedicated to my father.
Chris, Scott, you must be delighted with the way your guys performed tonight.
Well, you know, believe it or not, that's something all year. The same things have made us successful. Some nights we've done it with 7 healthy players. Some nights we get a bench of 17. But this thing over and over, these guys are sick of hearing us, believe me. But it worked. Here we are, we get 7 goals out of it in the end, and we're the ISL champions. Unbelievable.
It's not a night to pick out individuals, but Paul Rushforth really showed his worth for you tonight.
Yeah, but as you said, let's not pick anybody here. We've got Claudio Scremin, who has a fracture in his foot, we believe, and turned in the performance of a lifetime. Every one of these guys, they're warriors. You know, it's just an unbelievable feeling right now.
Chris, turning back to you, the franchise in London's a very ambitious one. Is success an expected part of life?
Well, I guess what's really well is the season they went through last year and then turn around this year and almost go from rags to riches. And again, I mean, we just got a great crew of guys, and as coaches, all we did was just hang on to the reins, but the real horses ran.
A great reward for your growing fan base as well.
Well, you can hear our fans up there, and they got our own little section, but they sure do have some big mouths. We could hear them all game long, so I just want to say thanks to the fans up there.
Once again, guys, congratulations, well done.
Thank you.
Yes, and right now, Paul Rushforth is going to go up and do this. This guy has a record for a hat trick in a playoff final, and also 4 assists in a playoff final. He goes up with the C.